Good morning.
Good morning.
It's already 11:03. I think we can start.
I think yes.
So this Saturday we agreed. Thank you, thank you. So this week we decided to talk about present perfect. In future talks, we agreed. You also mentioned conditionals and articles. Are there any other things that came up this week that you would like to talk about in the future? It doesn't have to be grammar. It can also be any vocabulary, things like that. Functional language, any specific topics that you'd like to discuss?
Could you please explain me one thing?
Nothing in particular.
Yes, yesterday I looked for some exercises for has got and have got, or can, I don't remember, and there was the game or something that is called Go Fish or Fish.
No?
I just didn't understand the rules.
So let's go ahead with present perfect.
Okay.
Present perfect is one of those topics where students, they just tend to have a bad association with it. And look, I've opened my website of materials, and I'm simply going to look for present perfect in target language. So as usual, there are lots and lots of materials, but let's filter things out. So I wanted to show you, because we haven't especially talked about these presentation support a lot yet. When you have presentation support, it can be two different things. Presentation support can be PowerPoint PDF versions of explanations that you can use for online lessons. You can easily put on screen, or for if you're using a projector, things like that. But we also put videos. So look here for present perfect. If you look at these presentation supports, what you have is here present perfect for life experiences. It's actually a whole video that we shot. You click on it and it opens in YouTube. And there you go. You've got Tom explaining present perfect for life experiences. He explains, it's not a video lesson that you can just take and give your students. This is a video lesson for you, the teacher. It's a short video on techniques, good examples to use to present present perfect for life experiences. Same thing. Here's a teaching approach for past simple, present perfect simple, and present perfect continuous. And finally here, the same thing. This is something I really like. It works very well. Present perfect explains. So again, here you have a whole video explanation on how to teach present perfect in that situation. This is presentation support for present perfect. Do you have any questions about those?
No.
They basically go over teaching techniques. Okay, everything is clear with that. Present perfect for life experiences is usually the way a lot of textbooks start introducing present perfect to students. That's why we've got this supplementary material on the website. I prefer, if you're teaching independent from any textbook, if you could absolutely control the way you want to do it, I prefer starting with present perfect explains now, because it really, students get to grasp what present perfect is all about, implying things. Instead of saying, you're hungry, you can say, I haven't eaten in a while. Things like that, all right? So this is the presentation support. And for all these topics, of course, you will have P1s to go with it. So P1s, they're really a lot. I want to show you different categories of P1s that you can find here. So first of all, I think you see there are lots of tense reviews. You'll see that throughout P1s, present perfect is an essential part of most course programs from like B1, B2, C1. So we have a lot of tense reviews here that have a lot of different tenses, and present perfect is one of them in the middle. Look, let me show you a B2 plus tense review that we have here. This is something that you can use really as a P1. There are speaking activities that you can use for tense reviews, things like that as well. This is an example of a P1 you can use. Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of the verbs in parentheses. There's absolutely no clue to the student on what they should use. This is strictly, you should know this. So you see last weekend, you have a past simple, right now, present continuous, every day, so far. All these little things are cues for the students to pick their tenses. Here there's one with second conditionals, for example. So these are tense reviews. These are things you might want to use during your course. And P1s, so in order, let's start with present perfect for life experiences, because that's the most traditional one in your textbooks. A2, B1, you see. Basic practice, so you have even 2 PDFs. And here you have lots of types of exercises that will strictly focus on using past simple when you know when, and present perfect when you don't know when. When is not important. My friend has traveled to Japan 3 times. He loves Japanese culture. He went to Japan for 2 months last year. You have a lot of P1s like that. If you need more P1s to complement to supplement your textbooks, things like that. Present perfect for life experience, you have it there. You got present perfect, past simple, and state of verbs, for example, at B1, B2 level. Same kind of thing, really. I've eaten at that restaurant before. Don't go there. Why not? Well, I went there last week with my friends. We waited for 2 hours before we got our food. Students get to practice. This is P1 level, so really in written format or on their own, with all the time that they have, they just get to drill and practice writing those. What they're doing at P1 level, remember, is basically just confirming the rule, okay? It's a reliable rule, it works all the time, and the form is clear. So those were present perfect for life experiences versus past simple. Now, where do we have, no, sorry. There we go. Now, I was asked last week as well to include present perfect simple versus continuous. Now, in here, you'll have timelines to help you, okay? So for the first timeline, use present perfect simple. And for this timeline, you have 2 options, present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. So here we're going over the rule with the students on when they can use what. I've lived here for 10 years, I've been living here for 10 years. She's waited all morning, she's been waiting all morning. We've watched TV all day, we've been watching TV all day. And here, first exercise, we'll just ask for students to get into the logic. Can you? Do you have two options or only one? Pam, 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 pam. And a bit a higher level, same thing. When you want to differentiate between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, we have saved money for a new house, we've been saving money. Here we're stressing on the result. And so same thing with pictures so that it speaks to the students. Match the sentences to the situations. We're really just at P1 level here. Do you have any questions on these P1s for now? I know I'm going a bit quickly on P1s, it seems.
No questions.
I do want to make sure we have time to see the review activities and the speaking activities as well. Any questions on these P1s? These are just, honestly, P1s, as I've said before, this is everything you have in your textbooks. And these are really just supplementary materials, supplementary P1s. If your students don't get it, or if, you know, sometimes the P1s are too difficult or too easy in the textbook, you need some more P1s. Here, you have all the P1s you need, quality and certified that everything will go fine. It's adjusted to the level of the student. No questions? Still one
No
P1?
questions.
Questions on these?
No.
All right, then I'll continue because we still have very interesting P1s. Now, let's have a look at present perfect explains, because present perfect explains really, it encompasses all the rules of present perfect. Present perfect textbooks and a lot of course programs like breaking up present perfect into small sections, but actually they can be all connected into one thing. Present perfect explains now. There are really two timelines for present perfect. The one on the left that only goes with present perfect simple, the one on the right that goes with both present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. But the most important is this, sorry. When you hear the present perfect, you should start to think about the situation now. You make assumptions. Really, present perfect explains now. So here we give students examples. You hear he's been to Spain. What can you understand for that person? Does he know about hotels in Spain? Well, probably. Does he know about the prices of restaurants in Spain? Yeah, probably. Does he know about Spanish culture? Maybe. It might have been a very short trip, so he doesn't know that much, but he definitely, there's a big typo, poor Spain. I've been living here for 10 years. Do I know who to ask? Do I know who to ask if you have any questions? Yeah. Do I know some good places to go in your free time? Probably. Do I have a job and friends? Probably. I've been living here for 10 years. I probably have a job and friends around here. These are different ways to show how present perfect explains now to students. It's a great way, as we said, in English, we don't always want to use words to just go direct, be too direct, be too upfront. And very often, we kind of imply what we want to say, and present perfect is a very good example of that. So for example, I want to say I'm tired. I've been working hard all day. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. Oh, yes, of course. It's not a good day to go to the park. It's been raining all day. We want to help our students grasp that, that communicational necessity behind present perfect. We want to help the students adopt this logic and use it in their speech, because that is a fluent, proficient use of present perfect. So you can give them more examples. Look, think about a situation like a job interview. You don't just say, I'm amazing, you should give me this job because I'm the absolute best. You're going to imply all this information using present perfect. I've worked with students of all ages. My students have been very successful at work and on international exams. I've been working to improve my lessons ever since I started teaching. Blah, 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 blah. All these present perfects are implying that you are amazing at your job. So these were the explanations. Let's look at the P1 activities. So I like starting with this. Again, this is, if I can put the textbook aside, I will definitely start present perfect with this, okay? Match the explanations to the situations. So on the left, they have different sentences in present perfect, and on the right, they have assumptions about now. This is a great way to connect the two. Present perfect is not about the past. Present perfect is about now. She's gotten a promotion. What's the assumption? Oh, she can probably pay for dinner tonight. Yes. She hasn't found her cat. What's the assumption now? What do you think?
She's very worried.
She hasn't found her cat. What's the assumption?
She's very worried. No?
Oh, I clicked on it. Now you can't see the options. Let's pretend it's my fault, huh? So what's the assumption here? She hasn't found her cat? She's very worried. She hasn't met the boss yet.
She's new at her job.
You get the idea? Every present perfect, you connect to a situation now. And actually, you'll see that because it's assuming, students might have different ideas. As long as it's correct, like as long as it makes sense, perfect. Exercise 2, something similar, but now it's going to go both ways. So in this exercise, they need to complete the chart. They either have the situation or they have explain it. All right? So you see the situation, I'm not hungry, explain it, I've already eaten lunch. He's busy, he hasn't finished the project. Okay, so the computer isn't working, explain it.
I have broken it.
I haven't installed an antivirus, for example. Ooh, what's the situation? She's forgotten her money. She can't pay for the bill at the restaurant. She's forgotten her money. All these things, again, these are great exercises for students, not just to study present perfect as if it's like some kind of abstract notion with lots and lots of rules. You use it in this situation, use it in that situation. This is really to get students to grasp the principle, the logic behind present perfect, why we use it in English. Here's also a fun, this is still P1 type activities. We haven't touched P2s and speaking activities. Look, another kind of fun P1 that you can do for students to grasp present perfect explains now. Exercise 3, you want these jobs. What can you say to make yourself sound qualified? So students write 2-3 sentences using present perfect to show that they're good for these situations. Bus driver. You know what? You know what? I have driven hundreds of kilometers on those windy roads in the mountains on an old Volkswagen van. I can drive anything. Hitman. Well, I've never hit anyone, but I'm willing to try. I'm not a very good hitman, that's for sure. Programmer, judge, doctor. For each of the situations, the students have fun writing 2 or 3 sentences in present perfect to try to imply that, hey, you need a programmer? You should hire me. Any questions or comments on this? Present perfect explains. Because this is, I highly recommend to teach present perfect this way from now on. This is the communicational necessity behind present perfect. This is how we use present perfect. And it's a clear, reliable explanation that works with all the other explanations you can think of. Present perfect for life experiences. Well, again, we're explaining now. When I say I've been to Paris, I'm showing off now that I know Paris quite well. If you want to talk about French culture, I probably have an opinion on it, things like that. Same thing with present perfect that continues now, simple or continuous. I've been reading a book. All the assumptions are about now. I haven't finished it. Please no spoilers. And we might want to talk about the book. No questions, no comments on this. Present perfect explains now. All clear?
Yes.
All right. So, getting back to our P1s, because we have a lot of different ones, I also wanted to show you continuing present perfect explain now. I wanted to show you past and present perfect explain, because this is important as well. This is a great lesson that I love including in my courses. It's a lesson to help students, again, practice perfect tenses. Remember, we don't want to let our students forget something. We did present perfect at one time in the course, and later we did narrative tenses. I might get them to do this lesson. So here we're going to have fun with past and present perfect. Because both explain. Present perfect explains now, past perfect explains the past. So check it out. Match the sentences on the left to the situations on the right. I've always wanted to live in a warm country. I had learned all the words to every song. I'd forgotten to brush my teeth. I haven't slept for days. I'd failed my driving test 5 times. I've never danced. My breath smelt bad. It isn't a good idea for me to drive. I live in a cold country. It wasn't a good idea for me to drive. I was excited about the concert. I don't feel comfortable at this dance party. Students need to match. How can you match? I've never danced, so I don't feel comfortable at this dance party. I had failed my driving test 5 times. It wasn't a good idea for me to drive. I haven't slept for days. I'll say it isn't a good idea for me to drive. I'd forgotten to brush my teeth. My breath smelled bad. I'd learned all the words to every song. I was excited about the concerts. I've always wanted to live in a warm country. I live in a cold country. Clear?
Yes.
It's Saturday, I understand, I understand. There you have it. That's the type of exercise to work with your students on past and present perfect, explaining now. It is really a great way to get students to be fluent in perfect tenses. Exercise 2, describe the situations in the first column in the past using past perfect, and now using present perfect. You see, sad. He had lost his job. Now, why can you be sad right now? Well, I've asked a question and everybody's too shy to answer. That's why I'm sad. Scared, proud, confident, surprised, hungry. All these students write 1 and 2 sentences to imply that. Proud, my team has won the tournament. Any other reason to be proud? If we consider the past, I was proud. Why? Because in the chat, Anna had said that the courses, that the materials are splendid. I felt proud. These are types of exercises, past and present perfect and present perfect. We saw the one for B1, B2. There's one for B2 plus as well. Any questions or comments? You know what? It's entirely my fault. I just realized you were on mute. Have you been?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I told something, but well.
I'm so sorry. It's entirely my fault.
It's okay.
You were on mute. Unbelievable.
I was still mute.
No, you're off mute, so now I can hear you.
Okay.
What were your questions from before then?
I don't remember.
You didn't write them on the chat. I was checking the chat. I couldn't hear anything, and I kept checking the chat, and I was like, okay, no questions, no comments.
Well, I was saying something, but you didn't respond, and I was like, okay.
Sorry.
Probably something's wrong with my microphone or something.
I just honestly assumed it's Saturday. It's the second, it's the 14th of September. We're all teachers. I think we all understand why we're all tired. Start of the academic year.
Sure. Yes.
So I just assumed you were tired, so there were no questions. Okay, really, any questions on that? Present.
No questions. No.
Okay, I highly recommend it. Present perfect is the best way to explain it. So we saw present perfect explains now, then past and present perfect. And I also wanted to show you something, like if you get to this at higher levels, all 3 perfect tenses, past, present, and future. So here we just call this lesson perfect tenses for implying. When you hear present perfect, you should think about implications on the situation now. I haven't been to that new French cafe. What can you imply if somebody tells you that? Well, they're probably hungry. Why are they all of a sudden mentioning this French cafe? They probably like to try new things. And a person probably is hinting that they want to go to that cafe. When you hear past perfect, implications in the past, right? There had never been shark attacks in the area. Jerry was surprised. Nobody was expecting the shark to be there. And future perfect, same thing. The robot will have ironed all my clothes. I'm looking forward to that robot. I'll be ready to get dressed and leave for work. My clothes will look good for the big speech. So these are little examples of past, present, and future perfect explaining. And then students, very similar P1s to the previous ones, match the sentences to the situation. So I've eaten 37 hamburgers already.
I'm preparing for an eating contest.
Yes. Everybody assumes that there will be a phrase, I'm fat or something like that, but no. He's just preparing for an eating contest. All right? So you have more exercises like this now, combining past, present, and future perfect. Any questions?
No, nothing.
No, clear? Because I know we spent a lot of time on P1s today, but present perfect is, perfect tenses in general are really one of those topics that are the most troublesome for students, because I find that the explanations provided by course books here are not helpful. They either confuse our students, or they're too simplified and our students tend to not understand. And as I said here, you also have a lot of reviews. I showed you B2 plus tense review, basic practice tense review B1, B2, same thing. For different levels, you have just P1s where students can use all the tenses they should know. Here it's a little dialogue between Joe and, I don't see another name, a friend. Hi Joe, what are you doing now? Oh, I've been working all day. I still have more to do. What do you want, Phil? I broke my computer again, or I've broken my computer again. Again? How did you break it? I spilled coffee on it. Again? You've done that 3 times already. I know. I'll try to be more careful. Well, I can try to fix it, but not until tomorrow. But I need it now. I'm busy. I wasn't busy yesterday, and I won't be busy tomorrow. But today isn't a good day to ask for my help. All right? Here, make the sentences by putting the verbs in the correct tenses. Same idea. Those are just P1s to review all these tenses. Questions, comments?
No.
Oh, cool. I was worried I had muted you again. Okay, so enough P1s, lots of P1s to supplement the textbook here, because really the textbook does not have that present perfect explains logic that I love. So quickly on P2s, well, P2s for present perfect, it's mainly speed and scramble and short answer races. You see, we have short answer race with present perfect and past simple. A2, B1 level, B1, B2 level, B2 plus level. And a short answer race specifically on present perfect for life experiences. A2, B1 level. That's kind of fun to do with the students. Again, this is just to supplement the textbook, the course book that you're using. You're very likely to have a lesson on present perfect for life experiences. So here you have a very simple short answer race that does exactly that. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you ever had a pet snake?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Did you call me yesterday?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Did you watch a movie last weekend?
Yes, I did.
Have you ever read a book?
Yes,
No,
I
I
have.
haven't.
No, I haven't. Great answer. Have you met my friend?
No, I haven't.
Did you see our teacher yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Have you heard our teacher sing?
Yes, I have.
Have you ridden a horse?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Have you ridden a horse?
Yes, I have.
No, I
Have you
haven't.
talked to your neighbors?
Yes, I have.
Have you
Yes,
checked your email today?
No, I didn't.
No, I
Did you go to
didn't.
bed early last night?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you read a book? Did you read a book this morning?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So you see,
Mm-hmm.
these short answer races, they're really, the procedure is very important. Here, we did it without time. It's fun to do once in a while sometimes. But the procedure for the students is very simple. 1, start slow, no time, just a check, and it's basically a P1. So you cut out the cards, you put them in a stack, and card after card, they do it, no stress with time. And then you introduce time, and the students do it once, as fast as they can, and another student times them. Okay, 9 seconds, 22. Very good. Okay, 9 seconds, 22. Okay, well, next step is challenge. 9 seconds, 22. Okay, Antoine, I think you can do it in 5 seconds. That's a big challenge. But I think I can do it in 5
Is
seconds.
it possible?
Maybe. Do you want to time me right now?
I can't. I don't have a timer right now.
Can somebody else time me?
Okay, I can do.
Okay, perfect. So, Anna, you will time me.
Mhm.
Masha, I need you to ask me the questions.
Okay.
Okay? 5 seconds. Hold on. Okay. Are you
Okay,
ready?
Steady. Yeah.
Yes.
Read quickly, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Ready, steady, go.
Go.
Did you eat pizza yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Have you learned to cook?
Yes, I have.
Have you met your neighbors?
Yes, I have.
Did you see yesterday?
Yes, I
did I
did.
see you yesterday?
Yes, I
did you
did.
wake? I can't read. Did you wake up early this morning?
Yes, I did.
Have I met your friend?
No, you haven't.
Have you ever called me?
Yes, I have.
Have you played video games?
Yes, I have.
Did it rain yesterday?
No, it didn't.
Did your friend call you yesterday?
No, they didn't.
Did you watch TV when you woke up today?
No, I didn't.
Have you eaten lunch?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read fast.
32 seconds.
32 seconds?
Yeah.
That is
Probably that's my fault. I'm sorry.
I think, so remember the idea, the challenge part is very motivating, but you have to be careful of the time. So yes, 32 seconds. We need, but I gave 5 seconds completely randomly. I think I can do it without reading. It's like, Masha, if it wasn't the cards, you remember, there are 2 ways you can do it, where you show the student the card and the student reads.
Yeah. Yes, if you could read, I think you probably would be faster.
Exactly. And there are some students that like to cheat. Well, I can't say it's especially cheating. There are some students that actually won't wait for the end of the question.
Well, it's enough to read just did or have and the pronoun, and that's enough for an answer if the truth doesn't matter.
Exactly. And actually, that is not especially a problem. As long as it's drilling, if the students are doing that, as you said, if you're doing, because there are different instances of the short answer race. So if I'm doing a short answer race where I tell my students the truth is not important, then that's exactly what they can do. And all they're doing is drilling this reflex. Did you? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Have you? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. But then you'll do it another time where the truth is important, because they have to be able to use that reflex with the rest of the sentence as well. Did you eat pizza yesterday? No, I didn't. Did you wake up early this morning? Yes, I did. All right?
Okay, yeah.
I think that's clear, right? There are no questions on short answer races?
It's clear, yeah.
No.
So those are most of the P2s for present perfect short answer races. There are the tense build cards as well. Now let's have a look at P3s because we're already, time is flying. So I want to show you a few P3s. First things first, there are all the liar games. So I gave a webinar on liar games as a good tool for first lesson activities, but also for review activities. All these liar games, you'll see quite a lot of them. There's present perfect for life experiences again. A liar game is very simple. You have liar video instructions here, for example. The procedure, students make the questions, they check the questions, then you pair or group the students, and student A asks student B the question, student B answers with the truth or a lie. A asks follow-up questions, which B answers, and A guesses whether B's original answers was the truth or a lie. If A is correct, he, she gets a point. If A is incorrect, B gets a point. So it's kind of a fun game where students get to challenge each other's lies. So this one is on present perfect for life experiences. Have you ever had a radio? I almost read, have you ever been on the radio? Have you ever made a video? Have you ever thought about traveling to Canada? Have you ever baked a cake? Have you ever swam in a river? And the scoreboard is here. So this is a fun P3 type activity that you can do for present perfect with students, and we have quite a lot of these liar games. Sometimes they're just beginning or end of course reviews. All right?
Yes, just I wanted to share with you that last week I used liar for past simple, and I played it with students of different levels, like A2 and B1 students, and it was really successful. Great, yeah. For the beginning.
Yes, it's a very good idea. You have students of different levels in the same class?
No, not in the same. I'm in private classes.
Perfect.
Yes, I gave them private lessons.
It's a very good way to break the ice as well with the students.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's fun. Now, getting back to present perfect, I wanted to show you something that I find loads of fun. It's a little game we thought of for present perfect for life experiences. And it's very simple to put together, actually. It's called 10 fingers. So the idea is that you pair students up, or you put them in little groups, and the students start by holding up 10 fingers. And these fingers are our points. So I'm first going to say a sentence about my experience using present perfect. For example, I'm going to say, I've been to the Grand Canyon. If this is true about you, you put one finger down. Okay? And then it's your turn. You say a sentence in present perfect about your experience, and you say, for example, oh, I've been to Moscow. Me too. So I've been to Moscow too. I put a finger down. Every time somebody else says a life experience that I've had as well, I put a finger down. And the idea is that the first student with 0 fingers loses. And you can determine the student with the most fingers left wins. And you can limit this game to, if you have a short amount of time, you can limit it to 5 fingers. Any questions on that? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We also prepared sentence cards in case your students have trouble thinking of experiences. So if your students are a bit weak or they're new to this, you can cut these up And these can be used as an inspiration. For example, students can choose either to say something or just to pick a card. I've seen a dolphin. Have you seen a dolphin?
Yes, I have.
No.
So if you answered yes,
Mhm.
you put one finger down. Clear?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, it's clear.
I have never dyed my hair.
Mm.
Is it true about you?
No.
No.
Ha ha ha. I have traveled alone. Is it true about you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
One finger down. I've never walked a dog. Is it true about you?
Yes.
Ha ha.
Yes.
One more finger down. Masha, you're losing.
Oh.
I've cut my own hair.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? One last point.
I have only one finger.
You have only one finger?
Yeah.
Last card. I have never driven a car.
Yes.
Oh.
I haven't.
I still have one finger.
You still have one finger. I
Yeah.
have never had a scooter.
Could you repeat? I
I
can't see
have
it.
never had a scooter.
Well, yes. I lost?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you weren't the last one.
Oh, really? Okay.
You start at 5 and you go down like that. And the first student who was 0
Mhm.
lost.
He's a loser. Okay.
Well, you don't say it that way.
I want.
You see, this is actually like for a while with Present Perfect, I would come up with complex traveler stories and especially for Present Perfect for Life experiences, there were so many speaking activities that I developed that were overcomplicated. I was very proud of them, but when I actually had to use them, I noticed that students were either confused or too focused on the rules of the game or the speaking activity to actually just have those spontaneous reactions of a P3 I want. And this game is so simple. You don't need anything, just fingers. Any questions, comments on this one?
We're mute again. No
Sorry?
questions. No questions.
No questions? You want to play it again, I heard?
I said we are mute again.
It's great.
I'm not going to mute you anymore. I really love this. I highly recommend it. 10 fingers, it works like a charm for Present Perfect for Life experiences. And no matter how old they are, honestly. Well, continuing. Let's take a look at productions now. Because continuing about life experiences and things like that. So as I said, so many speaking activities developed on traveling for Present Perfect for Life experiences and things like that. And now we've made it into one general, the Great Traveler production activity. It's a lot of fun here. The Greatest Traveler, students are going to have fun interviewing people who are the greatest traveler. So they're going to have traveler cards. The procedure is this. First, you ask the students, what is your dream place to visit? And you start gathering answers from students on the board, and you kind of group them already, knowing what your end goal is. So you group them. You put the adventurous ones on one side and the less adventurous ones on the other. Then you show the students one of the traveler cards, say, and say, this person is adventurous. He's a famous traveler and explorer. And you elicit from the students ideas for questions that we can ask this famous traveler in, a YouTube blog. So let's say if you're with teenagers, I would start with this card, for example. You tell them you got a YouTube blog and you want to, this guy is in your city at the moment and you're going to interview him or her. So here's the cool guy, you interview him for your blog. What can you ask him? He's a famous traveler. Look how cool. Huh?
Where haven't you been?
Where haven't you been? I'm pretty sure he hasn't been to Murmansk, for example. Look at him. Any other questions we can ask him? What's the tallest wave, the highest wave you surfed? Have you been to Ibiza? Huh? Yes?
What weird food have you tried?
What weird food have you tried? Yeah, he looks adventurous. He should try weird food, spicy food.
The smallest country or the cheapest country you've been?
Cool. The smallest or the cheapest country you've been to. Awesome. So here, you're eliciting questions and you write them on the board. Your students are going to use them later. Then you group or pair the students and you assign the roles of interview and traveler. So in turns, students are going to take a card, because you cut these into little cards, and they're going to play the role of that traveler being interviewed by the other student. It's great fun, and really students, you want to elicit good questions like you've asked, like what's the cheapest, what's the smallest country you've been to, where haven't you been? You want to elicit first fun questions like that they'll be able to ask again, and you'll see that it'll inspire new questions when they see the new roles that they have. There's a fun activity extension that I really like. You tell the students at the end, after they've done all the interviews, you tell the students that these people aren't really famous travelers, but rather they're crazy people who are just making up stories. I don't know if you've heard this, but you've read the book or seen the movie, the something life of Walter Mitty.
Yes.
So it's basically inspired by that idea.
Oh wow.
The famous traveler that you were interviewing, you tell them afterwards, you tell them, actually, hey, crazy dude. And the reporter, instead of writing the original blog that they wanted, should write an article titled, Living in the World of Your Mind. And so this is a writing extension that students can do in class or for homework. They should pick one of the travelers that they interviewed and kind of make a funny article about how that person lives in their own mind.
Cool.
Yeah, students have lots of fun with it, honestly. You can, I've never thought of this. I don't know if we can. Well, we should be able to. If it's the trailer, it's fine. You could actually just show, if the students are not, if you're not sure the students know about the movie or the story, just show the trailer of Walter Mitty. What's the title again? The something life of Walter Mitty, no?
Or is something about adventure? I don't know the English name of that. In Russian, it's «Невероятная жизнь» Walter Mitty. I don't know the English name.
Невероятная жизнь. No, it's different in English.
Well, probably, yeah.
Doesn't matter. You get the idea.
Yeah.
So that's The Greatest Traveler. I highly recommend it. It's loads of fun and it's very useful. For high levels, there's also an activity called Out of a Job. This is lots of fun. You can keep it for higher levels. You can also use it for lower levels. That's what I love about speaking activities. You can easily adapt them. the fun thing about this activity is that, you see, we're going to give students old job cards. So you see, we're first going to elicit jobs from the students and we write them on the board. We group the students and students choose a job for which they wish to apply out of the jobs on the board. So student A is going to choose student B for a job that is on the board. And quite typically, you're going to elicit these jobs. So students are going to give you jobs that inspire them. If they're teens, you'll hear things like YouTube blogger, I don't know, stuntsman, things like that. It's fun, it's cool. But then you're going to tell students, well, to help your interview, I'm going to give you your life experience. And so student A needs to take 2 cards from these old job cards that represent his or her previous work experience. So you want to be an English teacher, huh? Okay. And look, you take the first 2 cards here. So you've been a jack-o'-lantern salesperson. You know those Halloween pumpkin lanterns. That's what you sold. And you've been an online video game streamer. And you tell me you want to be an English teacher, huh? How has your experience helped you to become an English teacher? Well, as an online video game streamer, of course. I mean, I master English. I have to do everything in English on the stream, because or else I'm going to lose a lot of potential viewers, and I have to answer all the comments of people. I get very nice comments. I get also hateful comments. I have to answer all those comments in English. And as a jack-o'-lantern salesperson, actually, I've dealt with a lot of kids. I mean, I was not selling something for adults. The jack-o'-lanterns are for kids. So I spoke to families. I had to deal with parents, and I had to try to convince the kids to pick my jack-o'-lantern above other people's jack-o'-lanterns. So valuable experience dealing with kids and parents. Whatever the student needs to improvise and use those 2 experiences to kind of, through present perfect, show that this experience is useful for the job they're interviewing for now. Clear?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, yes.
Some of these are a lot of fun. Chess club treasurer, mathematician's assistant, songbird trainer. There we go. Okay, there was no questions, comments?
No.
No?
No.
I know we're already out of time, but if you don't mind, I just want to show you 2 more things very quickly. I didn't hear a yes, that's fine.
I don't mind.
It's good.
Just very, very quickly, I know it's 12, very quickly. There's a project called Space Out Elections that is wonderful for present perfect, past simple, present simple. This is more of a project. So if you're teaching kids, tweens, people like that, this is a really big project. Space elections, future planet. The year is 3019. Humans have colonized the solar system. One planet, Prox, is having an election to decide who will be the leader. Students will advocate for one candidate over the others in this project. So you've got a lot of materials. There's a sheet of paper for making the posters, glue, pencils, crayons, things like that, that you will need. And the procedure is, you show the students of the picture of the future city, establish the situation, including, yes, it's 3019, or whatever year this is. There's a new planet called Prox, and there's an election to choose the leader. Show students the poster of your candidate, Lisa Keiki. So here you have it, candidate poster example. So this is Liza Keiki, the most experienced and the fastest chef of her hometown. And she has her election promises: free birthday cakes for everyone, more good restaurants in the cities, free culinary courses for everyone, blah, blah, blah. Vote for Lisa. So that's your example candidate. You give students, individual pairs or groups, a candidate card. So you really have different ones. The ones that are good for kids, ones that are good for tweens, things like that. There's even some kind of spy, a sailor, scientist. I really like the grandpa with, it looks like almost like a Guns N' Roses t-shirt or something like that. So students then make their own posters for the candidates, for their candidate. So the posters should include why the candidate is the best. And here students can have fun with superlatives, maybe even some comparatives. The experience of the candidate, that can be past, present, and present perfect. And election promises, which should be in future. Students design their posters, present them to the class, and you can even have a school vote at the end. Important rule: establish the rule that students cannot vote for their own candidates. That will solve the problem of just everybody voting for their own candidates to win. So, yeah, that took me a whole 5 minutes apparently. That's it, space election. Any questions, comments on that? I really wanted to show you this because I find it's a huge one for present perfect. No questions, no comments?
No questions. I really like this too.
It's a lot of fun. Space elections is a lot of fun.
I have a question, Antoine. Do you have the course for the beginners, for children? I mean, for the first form, for six year olds who start.
Absolutely. We at our school we call it KS, Kids Starter. It's kids who are like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
We really use a lot of power teaching or whole brain teaching for that. I highly recommend. I'll write it in the chat. Again, because I often introduce it. So wait, let me find the. So you see I'm on YouTube now, and I'm just going to find Chris Biffle's channel. There we go, Chris Biffle. Do you see my YouTube here? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. This man, Chris Biffle, I can't believe I'm not it's because I'm not signed in. Okay. I'm definitely subscribed to his channel. Sorry. So this man is called Chris Biffle, and he started something a few years back called, at first it was called power teaching. Now it's more generally called whole brain teaching. It's a really unique way of teaching kids, tweens. The whole idea is really for the students to be always focused in class. So you're managing their energy level, because you know kids often need to switch. If you're going to have kids sitting for an hour and a half in your class, always sitting with a textbook, their energy levels are going to make a mess in your class, because they naturally, after some time, some of them will be like this because they feel the need to stand up and to move.
Yeah,
Some of them will not be listening because they feel the need to draw. Kids have very changing energy levels, and we need to manage that. And Chris Biffle has a great way of doing that, so that the class is always really focused. I highly recommend it. We use our materials, the materials that I showed you. The materials are great for kids. As you see, a lot of the design that we make is specifically adapted so that it speaks to kids as well. But as a teaching technique, as a methodology, we use this whole brain teaching, power teaching. I would recommend, look, whole brain teaching, 2nd and 3rd grade. Check it out. Whole brain teaching, kindergarten and 1st grade. Check out these videos. You'll see videos from real classrooms. In America, you'll see American teachers teaching, for example, geography or Latin using power teaching. It's very interesting.
I see. Thank you.
And there you go. I would recommend you watch these videos. So you see this man, this is Chris Biffle.
Oh,
I highly recommend you start with these videos. Here, he's talking directly to you, the viewer. You see, it's 10 years ago. These were his first videos, I'm guessing. He's talking directly to you on how to use power teaching. So he goes by lesson 1, lesson 2. And in this video, the basics, you will see him teaching at university, teaching a group of future teachers. So he's teaching them power teaching through power teaching. It's really interesting. So you have more YouTube videos to watch. Sorry, but they really, I insist on watching these. Tom and I, the day we discovered power teaching and Chris Biffle, it was clearly one of the landmarks for us in our English teaching. Completely changed our world.
Power teaching works great with the primary school kids. I tried it last year and it was great.
It's wonderful. I agree.
Yeah, and I'm going to discover it. Okay, I'm excited. Okay.
It's one of our secret little dreams, because there are a lot of speakers that travel the world and everything. And in Russia, we've greeted, but mainly, usually it's from the UK. I mean, it would be pretty amazing. I would really be interested in contacting Chris Biffle, seeing if he's interested in visiting Russia one day. We'd greet him in St. Petersburg with pleasure. Organize a little training course with Chris Biffle. It'd be very interesting. So there you have it. For very young learners, that's what we use. Did I answer the question, Anna?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
If you have any questions after you watch his videos, like on how we use it, because you'll see he explains power teaching for a lot of different disciplines. And they use it in America, not to teach English, they use it to teach history. I forget what I saw in the videos, a lot of various subjects. So if you have any questions on how we use it specifically to teach English, you have my email, you can write through our website. Don't worry, don't hesitate to write. All right?
Okay, I'm yes, I got you. You're so helpful.
You're welcome, no problem. Any other questions or comments for today?
No.
No? Any special requests for next week? Tom will have his usual Q&A session, so I'll send you out the questions for Tom. Is there anything you'd like for me, for my activities? Is there any specific topic you'd like to focus on? Conditionals?
I would really appreciate if you could do something about comparative and superlative, because it's really hard to explain kids that thing. So they get the idea, but they don't use it.
Okay, I'll think about it for next week then, because I agree this is usually earlier in the course program than conditionals or articles. So I think we can leave conditionals for later. Okay?
Thank you.
Any other specific requests? No?
No, no, no.
All right.
And yeah, have a good weekend.
You too?
Yeah, have some rest. Okay, thank you.
I'll think about comparatives and superlatives for next webinar, because I agree that's a good idea. This is usually something that comes up earlier in the year.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you in advance.
You're welcome. All right, enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, and you.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.